Alright guys, hey, how y'all doing? Brad Pryor here with RPC Construction. So today we're going to talk about craftsmanship versus this, check this out, new word, specmanship. So what I call specmanship is more or less what you can buy off the shelf in a subdivision. You know, rent house, finishes, you know, like, hey, we're just trying to here maximize our dollar. That's specmanship type work to me. Craftsmanship is what RPC Construction does. So what I'm going to do is I'll take you through a couple of steps along the way where I'm going to explain specmanship and versus the craftsmanship. So we'll go step by step. That way you can kind of cross-reference both ideals of what people are at. So the first thing I would point out is on the specmanship deal. And it's just a terminology I came up with. Don't try to look it up in the dictionary. It's probably not there. So this is what I always feel like I need to come up with terminology for, because when people call us and they're asking, so I got a painter buddy that can paint my house for $3.50 a foot. You're charging, you know, $1 more, 50 cents, whatever. It's like, okay, well, that's a spec house type deal, you know, or rent house. I mean, there's different types of painters and there's multiple reasons why. That's when you get into specmanship type finishes and you get into that type of quality of work. The spec builders in the world, 90% of the time, are trying to maximize their profit and give you as little for your money as possible. So craftsmanship is thrown out the window. So when you first look at this specmanship of a metal building, barndominium, whatever you want to call it, you can see a lot of things not working. You can see the trim is not thought through around the eaves to the gutters. You'll see peak boxes. You'll see corner boxes. These are all items that are not mortared or mitered together. They're things that are bought off the shelf at Mueller or another supplier because they can't figure out how to use a speed square. So they have to have stuff made for them to figure out how a gutter transition to a rake transition is. They have to have that box where they can just rivet together. RPC, we don't look at it that way. We like to do everything ourselves and customize everything to what you want. So when you look at that metal building, also the trim on the bottom side, screw lines. You want those screw lines to level up, line up, think through how your girts line up, all that stuff. That gets you into that other quality. That specmanship, you're gonna see screw here, screw there, go to the building, everything looks like a puzzle that you need to put together and you paid for it. Don't make sense. Don't make sense to me, get it. But so that's the metal building side of it. I can go on all day long about stuff I can pick apart, but any builder can pick any builder stuff apart. I don't feel like anybody pick mine apart, but that's just me being biased. So, number two, when you walk in a house, if you can glance across and pick something up and you've never built something, it's most likely a spec house. Because you shouldn't be, your eye shouldn't be able to catch a lot of things just glancing across the house, unless you're a builder. But if a spec builder, they don't pay attention to how the trims, the colors, the floor, all that stuff goes together. They don't care. They're putting in there, they're doing everything they bought off the shelf to put in there for you to buy it, and it moves fast. And they're done with it. So inside finishes are not always well thought out. They're thought about what's the cheapest, you know, I can still get this appraised to make more money. So when you're looking through all those finishes, you're like, man, it looks all right, but you know, I need it now. I need it off the shelf. You know, it's just the way that world works. So that's what that specmanship kind of gets you. You know, another thing too is those builders that don't listen to what you want. They just want to tell you what they can do and just walk over you when you're talking to them. They're specmanship builders because most of the time they're incompetent to step out of their zone to build anything you really want built because they probably don't know how to do it because they've only known how to build squares and rectangles and gables. They don't even know what a gable extension is, single slope roof, married up to a hip roof. You know, I start talking all this stuff, they're gonna get confused. And the reason they're getting confused is because they're specmanship builders. So we're gonna roll it over to another segment here in a minute to the craftsmanship part of it, which is what I love. All right guys, now craftsmanship, this is my game. This is my baby. This is what I love to do. I like to hear, well, we went to talk to other builders and they just didn't want to really mess with me. Well, or didn't want to hear what I had to say. Well, I'm all ears. And if you ever roll up in a RPC Construction in any location or design center and somebody tells you they don't want to mess with it, just call me directly and you'll be able to get my cell phone number real easy. Just call up here at any location, and I'm most likely gonna get fired. Because to me, I want something out of the box. I want something we've never done. I want colors that, oh, I don't know about this color. Oh, well, we have software that figures out if this software or this color is gonna look good. So I'm tired of building the same old thing. You've been in business 20 years, you get tired of building cookie cutter stuff. Sometimes you just have to, that's what the client wants. It's not because that's all you can do. With us, we want to try to build anything and everything that somebody has dreamed up. So we get in that craftsmanship stuff, like we talked about in the first part of the specmanship build and stuff like that. All our gutters to our rake, to the peak, all this stuff's monitored in, man. It's all riveted, it's all taken, it looks smooth. When you look at a building, it's just slick. It looks like a boat, like it's supposed to move across the water. That's what I tell my guys, you know, that are certified and all these sealants and stuff, and these roof panels that we put on. They're not guys that just showed up, that we picked up off the street. These guys have been to school. They've been trained. A lot of them have been with me 15 plus years. They don't go nowhere because they love doing what they do. They're craftsmen. So when you look at a window and it's all 45 together and it's got a drip flashing system over top of the windows and all the windows are uniform going, or all the screws down the window, down the doors are freaking uniform. Like, you have to look and try to find something going on in our buildings. That's craftsmanship. If somebody's picking something apart because they're so frustrated because these guys are really good at what they do, and what they say from the start works to the end. That's craftsmanship. So when you gotta think, when we touch our product versus the conventional builds, our finished product is everything we touch. We can't just caulk and paint stuff. When it goes on, it has to be handled up, with more or less knit gloves. It has to look good. Can't scratch it. We do scratch it, do little touch-ups with a certain degree, but everything we do is finished product on the outside. And then when you walk inside the house, I want you to feel your eye at ease, like you really are looking around at all. And then you look down, forward, and up, and like nothing in the world is bothering you. And from that design meeting, that's when your dreams and your heart starts fluttering from when you started to where we are now. You're walking in your forever home. And this is what you paid for, and you don't want to be able to pick nothing apart. My biggest pet peeve, and I'm still working on this day with my superintendents, the whole team really, is I do not like punch lists. Like when my clients walk through their final walkthrough and it's final punch with me, the client, and the superintendent, my superintendents can barely write on a piece of paper because they're sweating so bad somebody's gonna find something. The paper is saturated. Just scared to death that the client's gonna say something. That's what we try to put and instill into our clients, or into our superintendents. So that's what I want when I say craftsmanship, because every sub we hire is not the cheapest one on the block, never will be. Most likely they have a relationship that stands for years. They pay their bills. They go into a paint store, they get the best product. They go to a cabinet shop. It's not pressed woods, real wood, real hand, all that stuff in the end gives you that best product. And I can elaborate about craftsmanship all day long, but when you walk in there, the best way to describe it is you have nothing to complain about, and it feels at ease to your eyes. So saying all this, talking about this specmanship, this craftsmanship, more or less what I want you to do is find it out for yourself. Check out our new website at rafterpeakconstruction.com. Also check us out on the gram and Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. We're burning hot on 7018. Check you later.